Hello, welcome to this month's edition of Hope and Help for Families. I'm your host, Reverend Matthew J. Watts, and we are delighted that you invite us again into your homes for this month's edition of our program. We're excited about this month's edition. I have a near and dear friend of mine, and someone is an emerging leader in our community here in the Kanawha Valley. Mr. Costin Davis is the president of the Charleston branch of the NAACP. Brother Costin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Pastor Watts. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Good to slow you down long enough to get you to sit in and come in so we can talk a little bit about the Charleston branch of the NAACP under your leadership. And for those viewers, there may be a few younger viewers out there, and they may not really fully know what the NAACP is and what that acronym stands for. And maybe you can give just a brief overview of what exactly is the NAACP.
Well, it stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And it was started in 1909, so we're coming up to our 100th anniversary here shortly. And one of the things that we stand for is social rights, education, civil rights, and that's our main focus. We believe in equality for all people, regardless of gender, background, race, creed, religion, and we're very supportive of those individuals from those categories.
Now, I know you're a very busy guy. You have a full-time job with the Guard, and you have some other personal interests and responsibilities. I mean, what was the tug, what was the impetus that sort of pulled you toward getting involved in the NAACP and to accept the nomination and the election as the president of this great organization?
That's a great question. Our former president, Carolyn Smoot, had called me and asked me to become a member, and she felt that it was imperative that I became a member. And after listening to her and the challenges that she faces and the things that she'd seen, I thought about myself and how I could lend a hand to the organization, the things that I felt were pertinent, not just to myself, but to the community. And education is something I've always been fond of. Education, I think, is the key to all people's successes. And I was reading the paper all the time about the gap widening between minority children and children of low socioeconomic backgrounds. And I felt that maybe I could lend a hand to the organization and help tackle some of those issues.
That's tremendous. Now, let's talk a little bit, Costin, about, your personal vision. This is an organization that has a rich history. It
Absolutely.
has an elegance and a grace about it, nationally as well as in Charleston. But as organizations go and over time, some of those warriors who've led the charge have been the stalwarts and the pillars of the organization. As they age and move on, it sometimes loses its strength and maybe its focus. So what's your vision, coming up with the initial assessment, what is your vision of the Charleston branch of the NAACP in terms of what you would like for it to be under your leadership?
That's a great question. For me, I think it's very important that we get that luster back, get that credibility back, revitalize the organization, that energy, that passion, that commitment that it takes to bring about change. Change only comes when you're open and honest. And the reality was, I felt that there was some opportunities that maybe we had not taken advantage of as an organization. So now that I'm the president, I want to tackle those organizations. I want to bring that excitement back, and I have to get people to believe that as a people, we're relevant. As a people, we have something to say, and we're a relevant part of the community. Diversity is close to me, and when you look at Charleston, it's a diverse community.
Yes.
And understanding that through diversity, you gain strength. And my passion and my vision for the NAACP is for us to be a diverse organization, to reach out to corporate business, to educators, to pastors, ministers, people in the community, and build partnerships. When I took over, one of the first things I said was that we are going to reach out to those entities and become partners. And I've been very blessed in the 7 months that I've held on to the presidency that I've been able to establish partnerships with AEP, Dow, Hope Foundation, Black Ministerial Alliance, Columbia Gas. We also have dealt with a partnership with Verizon. And when you build partnerships with organizations, it makes all organizations stronger.
Sure.
And that's what it's about. It's not about trying to be out there by yourself, being that lone soldier. It's about building a community within an organization. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's part of my vision. And
it doesn't always have to be an adversarial thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
The NAACP.
Absolutely not.
Some people sometimes erroneously believe that the NAACP is only about protests, but sometimes it's about educating and bringing to people's attention opportunities that they may not even see that's available to them until it's brought to their attention by an organization that has the courage and the credibility to do so.
And you're absolutely right. Education, as I mentioned earlier, is the key. And these organizations that I've partnered with, their focus is education. Like myself, it troubles me to see our youth in orange jumpsuits, shackled, before they can even touch life. They're looking to do time. And I know that's your passion, and I know you've been out there fighting as a soldier for years to make a difference and help people understand that that's not the direction you have to go. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm there with you. And I'm there with whoever else wants to stand out there and make a difference for our community. You know, when I talk about this, I can feel the chills, you know, through my body, because it's the right thing. And now's the time to get it done.
Well, Carson, there will be some people that would say, all right, Carson, we appreciate your passion, your energy, and your concern. But they would say, look, you know, we're 140 years past the Emancipation Proclamation. We're 40 plus years past the Civil Rights Act. You know, we're 50 plus years past Brown versus the Board of Education. They say, Carson, why do we need the NAACP? Look at all the progress we've made and look where we've come over the last 50 years or so. Why do we still need the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People? Address that position that some might take.
That's a very good question. I've actually had people say, why should I join? You have children. You have relatives. This is not just about people of color only. This is about the community. This is about the community trying to move forward, the community giving our children the opportunity to live the American dream. And the NAACP, with its rich history, with tradition, and all the historical figures that's been part of NAACP, that in itself should be enough for people who want to become a member. We're living in some rough times right now, and the storm clouds are on the horizon. But it's not too late. But you have to be willing to step up, stand up, hold yourself accountable. Because, see, it starts with me first. It takes one person to make a difference, then the next person steps up, makes a difference, and that's what it's about. People taking ownership in their community, their family, their relatives, whatever it takes, take ownership to make a difference.
Let's talk a little bit about the ownership that the NAACP is taking of some issues that you really want to coalesce the community and try to create a movement to address some of these issues in a positive way. What are a couple of the top priorities that you, as the Charleston branch NAACP president, has delineated for the Charleston branch and that you're trying to bring the people together in this community to work on?
The drug issue is huge. We just had a tragedy in St. Albans where, you know, a young man allegedly shot and killed several people. We had a shooting, I think it was last night in Dunbar. These are things that should wake people up out of this malaise and say, listen, we have to stand up. We have to get out in the community. We have to lend our service. And I know it's tough getting out there, meeting and trying to come up with ideas and solve solutions, but you can't do it if you're not willing to meet and you're not willing to be committed. The other thing is education. It troubles me that our African-American children and the children from low socioeconomic levels are scoring low on the test, on their West test and other tests, scoring so low. That bothers me. It bothers me that they're being pushed through the system, graduate, and then don't have the tools to become an intricate part of society where they can give back to the society, they can live the American dream. And what I've discovered with young people, many young people is that, and it's not just young people, but people in general, when you don't have hope, you're not living anymore. All you're doing is existing. And I think that's one of the reasons why young people are so apt to take another life, because they can't even see themselves down the road getting married, becoming a grandfather one day, grandchildren on their knees. They can't see that.
Right.
You know, in their mind, if I make it to 21, I'm blessed, I'm lucky. And so we have to change that thought. We have to change that paradigm and shift it to the reality that if you do the right thing, you tie yourself to the right people, you will prosper. Good things will happen for you. But we got to go back. We got to reach back to our young people and let them know that and say, and give them that hope back, where when you look in their eyes, you see that hope. You don't see just the emptiness. You don't see a shell. You see that passion, that desire.
Well, let's talk about one of the projects that you as the NAACP president is involved in, along with some others from the community, and that's the West Virginia Achievement Project. Last month, I actually interviewed the coordinator, Ms. Christy Day Schaefers, who's kind of heading up that project in the 10 counties around the state that have been designated, and trying to pull community groups together. And let's talk about the West Virginia Achievement Project and this achievement gap between minority youth, low socioeconomic white youth, and the rest of the population. What do you as the NAACP president in Charleston, what do you see as the role of the NAACP, and then what challenge would you have to the broader community about their need to be educated and involved in the West Virginia Achievement Gap Project?
Absolutely. Christy has done an outstanding job at bringing that to my attention and getting me up to speed on what our youth face. Dr. Oden from the MAC, she's been involved, yourself, myself, Major Health and the West Virginia National Guard. We all have been involved in that, and for me, it's really, I've been trying to get up to speed on the challenges that we face and understanding what's going on. But I do know this much. The gap is large, and I talk to parents all the time whose children are having difficulty in the academic setting, and they're at their wits' end. What do I do? What is it going to have to take? And my focus and my philosophy is that each of us have to become involved. Parents have to be involved. And I know some single parents, they might have to work 1 or 2 jobs. It may be difficult for them, you know, to get to these different meetings.
But you got to do what you got to do. But still, you got to do what you got to do.
That's it, because, I mean, they're your children.
Sure.
And time flies.
Sure.
Before you know it, they're 18 years old. And
what would you say? What would you say, for example, to an individual? Say they are a single person, and they're African American or they're Caucasian. They're well educated. They got a job, middle class, upper middle class. What would you say to them about their responsibility and an opportunity for them to get involved and make a difference, and what some of the things that they could do, because they might have a little more time to be involved to help address this problem?
Well, one of the things I would do, and I would suggest to them, is get involved with the school, get involved with the PTO. Let these principals and vice principals and teachers know who you are and know who your child is, and suggest to them. I know when my children were in school, it was nothing for me to take a day off from work and sit in class with them. Whether they were in grade school, high school, would go by and just let them know that I'm a parent that cares, I'm involved, and you'd be surprised how willing teachers are to put you in the loop, get you involved, help you understand that the challenges that your child may face, what's going on within the school system.
Okay. All right, hold that point. We're going to take a brief break, and we're going to come back and talk with more specificity about what some community groups might be able to do, like fraternities, like sororities, like community-based groups, how they can come alongside and assist in this West Virginia Achievement Project, and also why individuals should consider joining the Charleston branch of NAACP if they live in the greater Kanawha Valley.
Very good.
We're going to take a brief break. Be right back with you, Mr. Constant Davis, President of the Charleston branch of the NAACP.
Hey, yo, Tim, get on your job, kid. We got school, yo. man, you in the window, man. You want me to do? I got the bus here, man. I got connections. We holding up traffic. Let's go. I'm not letting you waste your life like that, yeah.
Welcome back to Hope and Help for Families. I'm your host, Reverend Matthew J. Watts. And if you just tuned in, my guest for this month is Mr. Costin Davis, and he is the president of the Charleston branch of the NAACP. And we're talking about the work of the Charleston branch of the NAACP in the Greater Kanawha Valley, and also about the West Virginia Achievement Gap Initiative. And we're in the second part of our program. We're going to be talking specifically about some upcoming events, as well as how you can get involved in trying to work to support the youth in the community in the Charleston branch of the NAACP. Now, Costin, I know that you guys got an event coming up here at Charleston branch NAACP, July the 23rd. I know you're excited about it. Share with our listeners what that event is and how they can participate.
It's actually the Freedom Fund Dinner, and we're scheduled to have it on September 23rd. And it's actually the first dinner we've had like that since the year 2000. And it was important to me, it was important to the organization that we put that back on the map and make it an annual event.
So the Freedom Fund Dinner, what is the concept behind it? I know you hope to get people out and hopefully raise some money, and we don't apologize for that because the branch needs money to support its projects. But what's sort of the theme behind and the spirit behind the Freedom Fund Dinner?
The spirit and the theme behind it is, once again, to make people aware that we as the NAACP are here, that we are relevant, that we are part of the community, and that we are here to help you through your civil rights challenges, your social or economic challenges that you may face. And we're here as the NAACP, and we want you to become members, because my long-range goal is to help in the education area. I'd like us to be an organization where we can actually help individuals through scholarships, through education initiatives and things along that line.
Okay. So to piggyback on this idea that one of the hallmarks of your presidency within NAACP here at the Charleston branch is that you want to really bring the organization focused and to emphasizing the education and supporting our youth as well as adults who are trying to continue their education. With that as a segue, and let's talk now with some specificity about ways that individuals who are concerned about education and the education of our young people in particular, what are some specific things that the Jane Q, John Q, Muhammad Q, Kwafumi Q public could get involved here in the Greater Kanawha Valley?
I know with your organization in particular, you're always looking for individuals to come in and help to do tutoring.
That's so true.
And if individuals are out there that have expertise in an area like mathematics, English, the sciences, things like that, I'm sure your organization would welcome those people.
And there are others.
Absolutely.
Like
You
Derek
got the
Gibson,
MAC, you got Derek Gibson,
Reverend Ely's program,
Reverend
New
Ely's
Covenant.
program, New Covenant. They're all individuals that have great programs that are out there trying to make a difference, but they need your help. They need individuals' help in the community that want to make a difference. It's easy to sit back and complain about this and that, but it's much more difficult to say, you know what, I'm going to give back to the community. I'm willing to step up, challenge myself to do what's needed to enhance the community for all parties concerned.
I know you and I, have association with the same Greek fraternity. And so I want you to speak to the Greek fraternities, to the sororities, to the lodges, and some of those groups. What are some things that they could do as an organization, as a group, to support the education initiatives of our youth in the Greater Kanawha Valley?
Well, I know as a Kappa myself, Kappa Alpha Psi, the first thing we talk about is achievement.
Honorable achievement.
Honorable achievement.
Every field.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know Omega Psi Phi, Alpha Phi Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, they do things in the community. But we need to.
How can we coalesce it?
Well,
Costa, how can we bring this thing together? What one organization now in the community that maybe it's on the point in education, and maybe these organizations will come and connect with that entity?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the MAACP is one of those organizations that is on the forefront to make a difference. Their emphasis and focus is on education. Dr. Oden being the president, former educator, West Virginia State College University. And I know, I'm not sure if she's a member of any sorority, but I do know this, that she's very passionate.
Most definitely. About
education, and education has been her life. And I know, being a former student of hers, I know what her passion and commitment is. And she was a mentor for me and helped me get to where I am today. And I thank her for that every day.
Well, let's jointly, you and I jointly, we're sending out a general challenge, you know, to those sororities.
It's a call to action.
It's a call to action, a clarion call to action, and we're asking each group to connect with the MAACP. You know, the MAACP stands for Maximize the Achievement of African American Children in Kanawha County.
That's right.
They meet the fourth Thursday of each month, the 2nd Avenue Center. They're on the west side of Charleston. The New Covenant Community Development Corporations, operated by Reverend James Ely. And so it's a clarion call to action to get representatives out to those meetings to find out what's going on with the MAACP.
Absolutely.
Find out about the West Virginia Achievement Project, and to take that back to their respective organizations and challenge them to make a specific commitment. So we're sending that out there. Absolutely.
I'm challenging all the presidents of these organizations and their members to attend this meeting.
And if you need to find out more about it, you can call me at 342-3249. 342-3249, and I can get you the date and the time again, but it's every fourth Thursday. It's a standing meeting. It's at the 2nd Avenue Community Center. They're on the west side of Charleston, and they keep those meetings from 6:30 to 8, so you can plan and schedule your time. But we need you to be there, support the efforts of the MAACP. Now, Brother Costa, before we run out of time, there's a couple of other events. I know you and Brother Kenny Hale, myself, we've been brainstorming about actually convening a State of the African American Community Summit the week of August 4th and 5th. Let's talk a little bit about that, about some of the things that we hope to discuss there, and what the main purpose is of trying to bring that summit together.
Well, I'm very excited about this opportunity, because it really is in line with my vision overall, that these organizations come together with one central focus, and that focus being the betterment of the community.
Share with this theme we've come up with, the 3 R's.
The theme is rebirth, revitalization, and renaissance. And when you think about those words, it should excite you. When you think about rebirth, it's starting over. You know, when you think about revitalization, it's that energy. We revitalize. We're out there ready to take on that challenge. We feel what the challenges that are before us, and we're ready to take those challenges on. And I'm very excited about August 4th and 5th. I just hope that we're able to get other people equally as excited as us and get them involved.
And sure, I mean, we did this strategically and purposefully on the front end of Multifest. And we're saying Multifest is the largest event that is convened in the state capitol, probably in the state, each year, people coming together. And we're saying it's wonderful. It's like family reunion atmosphere and environment, a wonderful ambiance, a great time. But we're saying we got to also take care of business. With education, economic development, job training, saying how do we keep our young people out of this prison industrial complex. So let's be prepared to take care of business during the Multifest season as well. So we lead with an action and game plan.
Leave the egos at the door, come in focused about business, and how can we, as a group, make a difference? Because there's strength in numbers. I don't have all the ideas. You don't have all the ideas, but if we get people together that are focused on that one idea, and they come with their ideas, they come with their energy, they come with their passion, we can do big things. We can do big things in this valley.
Yeah. And so we're going to look at, looks like right now, tentatively, I mean, we're going to convene it here at the Cultural Center. They have the conference center here. Since the Multifest is going to be here on the state capitol grounds, we'll make it convenient for people entering and leaving, but we're really excited about that. Now, you guys got another huge event coming up August 18th through the 20th up in Harpers Ferry. Talk to our viewers about that event and why you're so excited about it, and what you hope that will be accomplished in Harpers Ferry on August 18th through the 20th.
Right, it's our 67th annual NAACP State Convention at Harpers Ferry, and we're excited about this opportunity because it brings all of us together at a historic site. Harpers Ferry being one of those sites where we as an organization can sit down, fellowship, and lay out a plan of action for the remainder of the year going into the following year.
Why is Harpers Ferry so strategic and have such historical significance for the NAACP? With the Niagara movement?
Right.
Yes.
The Niagara movement started in 1906, and then from there it actually developed into the NAACP.
So sort of the birthplace.
It's the birthplace, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's tremendous. That's excellent. Now, Councilman, before we run out of time, there's a couple of things I want you to address. There are going to be people that are listening, and they've been sitting back, and they've been a little bit leery of the NAACP, and they've been critical of the NAACP.
Right.
But they are looking for something to do. I want you to talk to them for about a moment or so as to why they should give the NAACP another opportunity to demonstrate the fact that it is one of the most significant organizations in our community.
Yeah, I would love for people to give us another look. I know we've lost some individuals that were members, and for one reason or another, they have left the organization, but I'm asking you to come back home. I'm asking you to come back to the organization, bring your talent, bring your skill set, bring your identity to the organization. We are focused. We're an organization that is focused on enhancing the opportunities of the citizens of the Kanawha Valley. We're focused in on the passion and the commitment that it takes to make a difference. But it can't be done by one person. It can't be done by 6 or 7 people. It has to be, just like our old saying, it takes a village to raise a community. It takes people of the community to get back involved and say, yeah, I'm ready to make a difference. And this organization, we're no nonsense. I'm a no nonsense president. I'm focused on trying to do the right thing for the right reasons, but I need your help.
Okay.
I need your help.
Well said.
Right.
Well said. Much success to you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for tuning in this month and allowing us to come into your homes. Please make note of those very important dates that are coming up. July the 23rd, NAACP Freedom Fund Dinner. You call me at 414-4440. I will give you the information about the date and the time and so forth. Also, mark your calendars August the 4th and the 5th for the State of the African American Community Summit, revitalizing the rebirth and the renaissance of the communities. And it's going to be here at the West Virginia State Capitol Complex in conjunction with Multifest. And then August 18th through the 20th, the NAACP State Convention in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Thanks again for allowing us to come to your home. You be encouraged and keep hope alive.